Welcome to CAX IS. मैं गोटे आंचु आज फ्लैश न्यूज which deals with the article the right to walk on the footpath. आउ एटा कौन पई न्यूज रे अछि because the Supreme Court, the Honorable Supreme Court has held that right to walk on footpath is a fundamental right. So before discussing or digging into the topic, first हमें जानिबा कौन पई एटा हला. It has become a news because it has come to the picture because imagine गोटे झियो 5 वर्ष रो छुआ सी तांको बापांको सहित रास्ता रे जाउतला and a tanker has come and hit that girl and they died the spot. So एथि पई ए केस टा this judgment has been done that right to walk on footpath is a fundamental right. Next हमें जानिबा कि why this is very important because recently we have known that according to studies or reports we have known that the pedestrians mane to mane rasta re chalanti, that death is second highest compared to the two-wheeler deaths, two-wheeler road accidents. So it is very fatal to the road transport, to life and to life and freedom of movement. So that's why the Supreme Court has said that right to walk the footpath is now is included the fundamental right. And kete death hochi, pedestrian death has increased almost around 163% in a decade. Now ame dekhiba what is in it. First, the Supreme Court of India delivered a landmark judgment in the Maniar Iliar at Sheikh Riaz versus P. Ayappan and others organization 2026, declaring that right to walk on safe and demarcated footpath is a fundamental right. The Supreme Court, what it said in Maniar Ilia's case, it has said that the right to walk on footpath on safe and demarcated footpath is a fundamental right. And the data which I have said you earlier, that pedestrian deaths surged by nearly 163% between 2025 to 2024. That is very high. And then it is doubling the share in total road fatalities, more than it is doubling from 9.5 to 20%. Then constitutional basis kon ko article it include heichi, that it deals with article 19 clause 1 subclause A and 19 clause 1 subclause B and 19 clause 1 subclause C in conjunction with the right to life under article 21, which deals with right to life and personal liberty and even life with dignity. Then what it said, the court held that while the freedom to walk is subject to reasonable restrictions, pedestrians' right to use designated footpaths take precedence over the movement and privileges of the motorized vehicles, and the public spaces cannot be monopolized by drivers because motorized vehicles jo vehicles mane achandi, they even use the footpath. You would have seen in your regions also, when there is lot of congestions or the lot of traffic is happening, then the motor vehicles, what they do, they use the footpath. So from there, this they take the liberty of using footpath so that they can reach near the signal, so that jetala signal start habo, like green habo, then they can go quickly. So that's why the court has said that freedom to walk is everybody's right. No one, the motorized vehicle cannot override their right. Then it is said that it is a critique to the Motorized Vehicles Act. What it said, the apex court criticized that the existing legislation, noting that it undermines walkers' rights by establishing vehicle as a primary subject, treating human and pedestrian interest are merely incidental. The Motor Vehicles Act kon kuhe setre kahichi that the vehicle becomes a primary subject. Je kon kare, ये pedestrian मानो in rights को infringe करे. Okay. Now this is the article. It is said, the Supreme Court has said that if road exist, there must then be a duty to ensure that a footpath is demarcated and maintained for the walkers. This is an enforceable duty. Okay, this is an enforceable duty. You all know very well that fundamental right is enforceable, and this is also enforceable. Then next, it is a very nice quotation. Very nice quotation. What it says: the roads are for vehicles, to cities are for people. So this is like, it is a sarcastic criticism for the Motor Vehicles Act, that roads are for the vehicles. Roads are for vehicles and cities are for the people. So आमे जदि देखिबा before going to the functions कौन कौन हे परिबो, if you see even sustainable development goal 11 re sustainable cities and communities re right to walk is coming, you can add it in like sustainable development goals 11 को भी हमें add करि परिबो. Then in this article it is said that as part of the Supreme Court's expansion of Article 21 since 1970, it has declared that right to walk on demarcated footpath is a fundamental right. So we know that it is in Article 21. It has been included in Article 21. Now it is said, the rights-based legislation in India that has sought to change public culture has mixed success. The Street Vendors Act 2014 sought that to protect vendors from the harassment as under Article 19 clause 1 subclause G, but in most cities municipalities still conduct eviction drives. एटा कौन कुहे a complete highlighting part टा इतरे कौन कुहे that even there is motor vehicles ही only cause nahi pedestrian death. It is even the street vendors who are encroaching the footpath, even तो दे सेमाने जदि फुटपाथ को कैप्चर कर देबे माने एनक्रोच कर देबे, then where the people where will the pedestrian walk? So this is a very important issue with it, what we are dealing with it right now, even today. Then functions corner, if it happens, what would be the functions? Public safety he paribo, it will ensure public safety to the pedestrians especially. Okay, next, inclusive cities to corner, governance, urban governance, smart cities with both footpath and roads for the vehicles, and even right to public space. Right to public spaces, you can say free movement, freedom of movement, freedom to use, freedom to walk with dignity, and even right to life is also there. Then urban governance challenge kon kono, that is encroachment. We have discussed illegal banking, illegal parking, temporary structures like you can say street vendors जो मैंने encroach करंती. Then road construction often happens without footpath. Even कितना roads रे you would have seen कि जो one way road था या two way road था इसे इतने footpath ही न था. So then cycling lanes भी नहीं, and even universal accessibility भी नहीं. Then implementation gap कौन? India often has good policies but weak enforcement. What does this means? Because it has good policy, road safety ପାଇଁ policy कर देची, pedestrian ପାଇଁ policy say the Supreme Court has said that pedestrian right to walk is a fundamental right, and ସବୁ efforts निया जाइची, two wheelers ପାଇଁ निया जाइची, traffic rules करा जाइची, but is it being implemented or enforced in a proper way? It is a question. Now if we go further, who has also the international best practices bhi achi gote, they have given us the data that in Netherlands cycling and walking is core urban policy. It is a core urban policy in Netherlands, where they have given dedicated cycling lanes separated from vehicles, pedestrian first road design, that is pedestrian is first, then comes the road, because walking is very important. then traffic calming measures where jimti ame jimti koi paribo ki that traffic time re motor vehicles mane footpath रे आ जाती तो ट्रैफिक कामिंग मेजर्स भी अच्छी then reduce vehicle speed in residential areas. Even India has been trying to reduce to deal with this, that is reduced vehicle speed in residential areas. And even Singapore भी universal accessibility model ही जी where covered walkways connecting residential areas and transport hubs. Walkways जगह covered ही like footpath माने covered ही के अच्छी. Then barrier free access for elderly and disabled persons, which India should adopt because there is no such barrier free access to the disabled persons or the specially elderly persons, you can say. Strict regulation against the obstruction of pedestrian paths, like किछि भी माने किए भी encroach kari paribani a pedestrian pathway. Then Japan has also given a model that is through discipline and design. What Japan has done, clearly marked pedestrian crossing, strict traffic discipline, safe school routes, well maintained sideways, all these things. These are the global best practices which India should try to adopt, so that and create a model for the pedestrian, so that they can tackle the pedestrian deaths and enforce effectively the right to walk. Then if we discuss about the expansion of now, before this, now now if we see article 21 re right to walk include HG, right to walk on footpath including that. What that means, it means that amaro article 21 is getting expanded. Okay, so we will discuss how it has been expanded over the years. Okay, we'll see how it has been expanded over the years. What it has done, it has come towards from procedure established law to due process of law. किमती establish किमती expand ହେଇଛି first जिबा foundation रे कौन ହେଇଛି that it has come मेनका गांधी versus Union of India रे 1978 रे से कौन करथिला introduce fair and reasonable restrictions, reasonable procedure, or it has said that article life under article 21 means living with human dignity, not merely animal existence. Human dignity सहित जीवन यापन करिवु. Then livelihood shelter category कौन आसीबो Olega Tellis versus Bombay Municipal Corporation, where it said that right to livelihood is an integral part of right to life. Then in Chameli Singh versus State of UP, it said that right to shelter is a part of right to life with dignity. Even right to shelter is a part of right to life with dignity. Then in healthcare sector, if we see healthcare sector रे कौन आछि healthcare sector रे कौन आछि that Ramanand Katara versus Union of India रे right to timely medical treatment या in emergency. Then consumer education a case रे right to health and medical facilities. Then again in one case state has obligation to provide adequate medical care. State can provide adequate medical care. This comes in article 21. Now judgments you can see in the PPT. Environment and sustainable development ithre judgments re kon contribution karichi, how it expanded over the years. Right to clean, healthy and pollution free environment, right to pollution free air, water and air, clean environment, MC Mehta. Then public trust doctrine, that is state is a trustee of natural resources for the people. Then precautionary principle, which says that polluter pays principle bhi aschi. Then it says the sustainable development, that is the balance between the development and environment. And right to education is also a part of right to life. Then in Unni Krishnan case, it is said constitutionalized through article 21A. It right to life education was a right to part of right to life. In Unni Krishnan JP versus State of AP, they later constitutionalized in article 21A, separate article asila right to education pai. Then privacy or protection pai se kon article 21 re kon rights achi, you can see right to privacy. Then internet access is essential, for exercise of freedoms under Article 19 and 21. Like internet access is essential. एडा actually असला 2020 रे. It is because of the जो internet को बंद करा है इतना for some days. Even you can say during the abrogation of Article 370, internet access बंद करा है इतना जम्मू एंड कश्मीर रे. Then like that, again some more categories जो थे असला gender justice रे आसियो. पर विशाखा versus state of Rajasthan case रे safe workplace and protection from sexual harassment. Safe workplace and protection from sexual harassment at workplace. Then right to self identity gender, that is recognition to the transgender persons. Then dignity and rehabilitation of acid attack survivors. A principles PST right to Article 21. Then sexual orientation protected under dignity and privacy of the transgenders or any LGBTQ community. Then equality and personal autonomy. Adultery criminalized. Adultery को criminalize करा है ये. Then reproductive autonomy भी दिया है. And bodily integrity is part of personal liberty. This has come in the personal liberty section. Then in choice of marriage and individual autonomy रे भी बहुत सारा article बहुत सारा rights अच्छी, which is right to marry a person on one's choice, protection against honor crimes and family community interference with adult choice. Like marriage, you can choose anyone whom you want to marry. Okay. Then dignity in death. Dignity in death ray, you would have seen the case of passive euthanasia, which you would have studied in your ethics paper also. Then this has come in common cause versus Union of India 2018 case रे astila passive euthanasia and living will is a part of right to life with dignity. Then even in safe mobility and public spaces, Titrashri Malika Arjun versus Divisional Manager, National Insurance Corporation Limited 2025-2026 recent case रे right to walk safely on designated footpath is a part of Article 21. State must ensure pedestrian friendly infrastructure and unblocked footpaths. Okay, so it is said that, so if we sum up what happened is the right to footpath. First kaun pai hitla, it is because the accident took place took place with a 5-year-old girl. Because of that, Supreme Court has dealt with it. Next, because of the increase in pedestrian deaths, the Supreme Court has given this verdict that right to walk on footpath is a fundamental right. Now, why this is eta rahi gala tomorrow article ये जो article हमें discuss करो article 21, why it has been discussed? It is because over the years article 21 has been expanding, and through what? Right to clean environment, right to pollution free environment, right to walk on footpath, right to shelter, right to privacy, everything, all this in different sectors, the article 21 has been expanding over the years. So this is your conceptual understanding. Now if you ask that is it how it is relatable and relevant for your prelims, mains, or whatever exam you are appearing, you can see here two questions has come, that is which article of the Constitution of India safeguards one's right to marry the person of one's choice. Ita ko article rashchi, you can say article 21. Article 19 kono freedom of movement. Article 25 kono manage religious affairs. Article 29 kono cultural and linguistic reforms. So article 21 says right to life and personal liberty. So right to life and personal liberty re ashchi one's right to marry the persons of one's choice. Then right to privacy. Right to privacy is a very important both important case re deal kara hai. Just like we have seen in KS Puttaswamy case. Puttaswamy case. So cases are very important for your mains perspective and even for your prelims, because cases come and they ask कि केस पुट्टस्वामी रे को राइट अणा हेतला आर्टिकल 21 रे को राइट को इंक्लूड करा हेतला. So right to privacy is also we have studied article 21. Okay, so in this way these fundamental rights are very important, especially concerning with expanding over the years expansion of article 21. We have studied, to sum up, article 21 to sum up, right to walk on footpath is a fundamental right. It is included in both your articles, that is article 19 clause 1 and clause 1 subclause D, and even in your article 21. So do read these articles which are growing over the period or expanding over the period. Can be relevant for your GS paper 2 and even for the competitive exam what you are dealing with, because any article can come from anywhere and you would be confused that which rights are in which article, comes under which article. So thank you so much.